And welcome back to Let's Play Skyrim Perfectly Modded, episode 8. Anyways, first, your body will involuntarily gas deeply for air. When this happens, you will feel paradoxically when it has been knocked out of you and able to catch your breath. Complete without energy, and your eyes may have trouble focusing. Next, assuming you have not breathed in a lung full of fluid water, you are gaining enough sense to be able to find a way back to shore. Narrow window of opportunity, do not waste it. Getting out of the water is imperative that you make camp or retreat to the nearest warm shelter immediately, as your body has already become dangerously cold. Save yourselves from a warm water death and link to die on land minutes later. For some reason you're able to bring yourself to shore quickly enough, you will find your wounds difficult to move until they become so numb that they stop responding entirely. Drowning at this point is the most likely outcome. Gear for the journey. The right skills, the positive mindset, a few supplies with each of these things you bring with you, you improve your chance of overcoming any obstacle you may face. On the trail, it all starts with a simple axe. A woodcutter's axe is by far the most essential tool you can carry. With it, you can gather large logs from nearby fallen trees quickly and easily. Keep it sharp. If an axe is unavailable, a crude stone hatchet can be assembled from a entire hammer. A nearby stone tool. This tool will take much longer to use on proper axe, but it will get the job done. The most obvious use for the wood you harvest is for building crackling fire. Other useful supplies have been created with any spare pieces you may have. A bow for hunting game, or a simple walking stick. Oh yeah, don't this speed you up? A rack for tanning leather. The thing you can access freezing rains and blizzard in the open country. A campfire, limited usefulness when you remain exposed to the elements. In southern holds, where the air is warmer and rain comes frequently, a leather tent keep you dry while blocking the mountain night chill. A venture out to the north, made of animal hides, is more suitable. Since trap heat much more effectively, but are prone to leaking in rainstorms, a kind of rainstorm with no tent available. Shelter in the nearest suitable structure and wait for it to pass. And a small cooking pot made of steel can help you cook hot meals while on the road, far from the nearest hearth. Finally, a properly constructed backpack can do wonders for helping you haul your belongings over vast distances without straining your neck and back. Good backpack should have space for storing everything you need with some room to spare. So yeah, I think that is... I love how that actually... Because, you know, you get a woodcutting axe, it will actually show up on the back. And I think the cooking pot, too, it seems. And a torch, also. And all foods are created equally. Some are much better suited to helping the body cope with traveling in the cold. General hot soups, stews, and broths should be consumed when traveling long distances across cold terrain. They provide warmth from within, which helps prevent the loss of warmth from without. Snow bears that come in sight in the northern holds have been rumored to aid in fending off the cold. The northern lands swear by them, even though there's no alchemical proof one way or another. Whether the small fruit actually provide real bloom or is just a trick in the line, I'll leave the reader to decide. So you know about every North favorite topic, brew. While one may be quick to believe that ale and mead bring fire to the belly, many who turn to such drink in order to avoid an icy death only hasten it to then. He said mental and physical toughness play equal roles in your survival. Pursuing ale might be exactly what you need to give you the determination to make the last push to safety. That is a choice for you will have to make for yourself when the time comes. Skyrim and its environs. A nation divided into territories known as holds. With unique environmental characters that aid or hinder those who travel through them, they are presented here in order of increasing harshness and unpredictability. Like the hold, their starting focus is a temperate evergreen forest with relative warmth and refreshing waters. Days are comfortable even at sun's height, and nights are mild enough that one is wont to go stargazing when the sky is clear. Well, it's truly the most hospitable in all Skyrim. Probably is going to be my base, that, or, well... No, because I'm generally... Oh, no, I just realized. Since you can swear allegiance to, like, Imperials and stuff, but I want to be, like, Winterhold and college and stuff, does that mean that I will get attacked? While East March is cooler than Farakus to being far north, this hold is in line with volcanic fissures, so great plumes of hot steam that keep the area warm enough without pause day or night, year-round. If this hold is home to a sprawling broadleaf mixed forest in Skyrim's southeast, though it is positioned on Skyrim's southern border, its elevation, tree canopy, and humidity makes this area much cooler than we first appear, while a clear day in the rift is almost as nice as Valkyries. Rain with high winds can sap a warrior's strength faster than he cares to admit. If so many streams and lakes are pleasurable to swim in on sunny days. The Reach. The hold of Markos sits along Skyrim's western border and is limited by a great river that runs through a deep, sheer valley. The winds that roll off the western mountains and into the valley are chilly most days. Night air combined with cold showers may prompt wise travelers to build a campfire or seek shelter. The water is quite cold, but should not pose a threat if one is diligent enough to dry off with the fair once the affair is over with. Runnerhold, the heart of Skyrim, is a cold tundra dotted with few trees can manage to take root through the permafrost. They soil tirelessly to break ground and grow what little they can in the inches of soil afforded to them. They find this area to be comfortably cold during the day. I think a sturdy pair of boots and gloves can't remedy at night. The high winds across the open plains through fabric and flesh, and it never snows in Wyron, contrary to its name. It remains cold enough to freeze rain the moment it strikes the earth. Wyron's chilly brooks usually shallow enough to not where becoming completely drenched. Hall March. The tundra marshlands of Hall March are responsibility to us in Peru. The ground is almost entirely barren for us in the northern bogs, bars remain at or below the freezing point. Set up camp early and do not stray far from it. If night or dark clouds approach, build or seek shelter at once. Never attempt to swim in the waters here. Always find a land bridge or a way around. The Pale in the Mountains. The frozen wastes of the Pale are life-threatening even in the best of circumstances. Can't often avoid nightfall outdoors, but if it strikes you are in grave danger and your survival is measured in minutes. Seek shelter immediately. To be a living cave rat than a dead hero. Sheer winds and breath-freezing air of the mountains will push your endurance to its limits and beyond. Needless to say, the Sea of Ghosts lives up to its name. Same as for the icy rivers that run east and south of Windhelm. The great port city Winterhold is an inn with a roaring hearth in almost every street, ready to thaw the bones of weary travelers. Magic. You know, to believe that keep oneself warm with 5 spells should be easy, since spells of flame are amongst the first any student of the destruction school learns. 1. Turning spells against oneself is incredibly dangerous and is best practice left avoided. Direct your flames towards your campfire instead. There are known to be certain spells that can help fan out the cold, conjure shelters from thin air, reduce exposure directly. Seek out a mage to learn more, totally beyond the scope of this book. Virginia, if you have made it this far, congratulations. You're now much more prepared for the cold road ahead. I hope you found my instruction enlightening. I did. Although the author hopes that you never need this book, I advise you to take it with your travels, as that you may consult it whenever the need arises. Stay warm, stay dry, stay alert. No, it weighs stuff. Does it? Yeah, it weighs a little bit. The Book of the Dragonborn by Prior Milern Madrina, Order of Talos, weighing in priority. Year 360, the 3rd era, 21st of the reign of His Majesty Pelagius IV. Many people have heard the term Dragonborn. We are, of course, ruled by the Dragonborn Emperors, but the true meaning of the term is not commonly understood. For those of us in the Order of Talos, it is a subject near and dear to our hearts, and in this book I will attempt to illuminate the history and significance of those known as Dragonborn. Down through the ages. Most scholars agree the term was first used in connection with the Covenant of Akatosh, when the blessed Saint Elysia was given the Amulet of Kings, and the dragonfires, double of the one, were first lit. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart, blessed Saint Elysia with blood of dragons, and made a covenant. As long as Elysia's generation were true to dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of oblivion and to deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies. The Daedra-loving aliens. Those of Akatosh with dragon blood became known more simply as Dragonborn. Connection with the rulers of the Empire thus were from the beginning. Only those of dragon blood were able to wear the Amulet of Kings and light the dragon fires. Legitimate rulers of the Empire have been Dragonborn, the Emperors and Empresses of the First Sardolic Empire, founded by Elysia, Raymond, Cyrodiil and his heirs, before Cyber Septim and his heirs, down to our current Emperor's Majesty Pelagius Septim IV. Because of his connections with the Emperors, however, the other significance of the Dragonborn has been obscured and largely forgotten by both scholars and those of us taking the service of the Blessed Talos, who was Cyber Septim. Very few realize that being Dragonborn, on a simple matter of heredity, being the blessing of Akatosh himself, it is beyond our understanding how and why it is bestowed. Those who become Emperor and like the Dragonfires are surely Dragonborn. The proof is in the wearing of the amulet and the lighting of the fires. But were they Dragonborn and thus able to do these things, or was it doing the signs of the blessing of Akatosh descended upon them? All that we can say is that it is both and neither a divine mystery. Basically, it doesn't necessarily matter. The line of Septons have all been Dragonborn, of course, which is one reason the symbolistic notion of it being hereditary has become so complex, but we know for certain that the early Cyrodiilic rules were not all related. There's also no evidence that Raymond Cyrodiil was descended from Elysia. There are many legends that would make it so, most of them dating from the time of Raymond, likely attempts to legitimize this rule. We know that the Blades, usually thought of the Emperor's bodyguards, originated in Agvari Crusaders who invaded Tyrol for obscure reasons in the late First Era. Here too have been searching for a Dragonborn, and the events of Pale Past bear this out. And the Agvari were the first to proclaim Raymond Cyrodiil as Dragonborn. In fact, it was Akavari who did the most to promote his standing as Emperor, although Raymond himself never took that title in his lifetime. And of course, there is no known hereditary connection between Cyber Septim and any of the previous Dragonborn rulers of Tamriel. Whether there can be more than one Dragonborn at times is another mystery. They've done their best in this notion, but of course Imperial succession itself, at the very least, there are 2 or more potential Dragonborn at any time. The current ruler and his or her heirs. As for the Blades, also hints at this, although little is known of their activities during the interregnum between Raymond's empire and the rise of Cyber Septim. Many believe that the Blades continue to search out and guard those they believe that or might be Dragonborn during this time. As we come to the question of the true meaning of being Dragonborn. You know, dragons so obvious that it has almost been forgotten. These days, even dragons are distant memories. We forget that in early days, being dragon meant having the dragon blood. Some scholars believe that was meant quite literally, though the exact significance is not known. The Nords tell tales, Dragonborn heroes who were great dragon slayers, able to seal the power of the dragons they killed. It is well known that the Gore sought out and killed many dragons during the lifetime invasion, and that there is some evidence that this continued after they became Raymond Cyrodiil's Dragon Guard. Again, the connection to dragons, direct predecessors to the Blades today. I leave you with what is known as the prophecy of Dragonborn. This said to originate from an Elder Scroll, though it is sometimes all attributed to the ancient Agvari. Many have attempted to decipher it, and many have also believed that its omens have been fulfilled, and that the advent of the last Dragonborn was at hand. It makes no claim as an interpreter of the prophecy, but it does suggest that the true significance of the Actishes given to mortal kind is yet to be fully understood. Wait a minute. Oh no, yeah, because I do believe Third Age ends at the Oblivion Crisis, right? When Misrule takes its place at the eight corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when the thrice blessed fail and the red tower trembles, the Dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls. When the snow tower lies sundered, King lies bleeding, the world eater wakes, and the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn. Or maybe they're talking about me. I don't know. Not that I am Dragonborn necessarily. The Dragon Break. Re-examined by Fall's room. The late... Oh, I see the T now. Late Third Era was a period of remarkable religious ferment and creativity. It was the reign of Uriel the Seventh. Yeah. One of the outward signs of the historical forces that would eventually lead to the fall of the Septim Dynasty, so-called Dragon Break, was first popularized at this time by a wide variety of cults and fringe sects across the Empire, connected only by common obsession with the elements surrounding type of Septim's rule to power, the founding myth, if you will, the Septim Dynasty. The Dragon Break doctrine is known to be a rather prosaic error in the timeline printed, and otherwise authoritative Encyclopedia Tamrielica, first published in Third Era 12th year, during the early years of the Tiber Septim's reign. At that time, the archives of Eleanor were still inaccessible to human scholars, and exact records from the Elysian period were all extremely fragmentary. The Elysians had simply burned all the libraries they could find, and their own records were largely destroyed during the War of Righteousness. The author of the Encyclopedia Tamrielic was apparently unfamiliar with the Sicilian year, and the priesthood used to record all dates. We now know this refers to the length of the long vision trances undertaken by the high priestesses, which may last anywhere from a few weeks to several months. The analysis of the surviving trance scrolls, as well as murals and phrases from Elysian temples, I estimate that the Elysian Order actually lasted only about 150 years rather than the famous 1008 years given by the Encyclopedia Tamrielic. The mystery of the millennial plus rule of the Elysians was accepted but unexplained until the spread of the Lorcan cults in the late Third Era, when Doctrine of the Dragon Break took hold. Because this dating and explanation so widely held at the time and then repeated by historians, down through today has come to have the fourth tradition. Recall, however, Third Era historians were already separated from the Elysian by a gulf of more than 2,000 years. History was still in its infancy, lying in the few archives from those early days. Today, modern archaeology and paleontology have confirmed that my own research in Elysian first suggested that as a Dragon Break limited to the late Third Era, based on a scholarly era fueled by obsession with eschatology and Numidianism, and produced by scholarly inertia. And I can literally just read it like that. Okay. Meet Himdor. I got a quest. Wait, you get quests from these? Do you? Anyways. Skills. Oh, I can see them all from... Okay, that's really nice. Block. And heavy armor. Do I have heavy armor? No, I do not. Alteration. Yeah. I don't see any reason. Oh, it gives you no coverage. I see now. I see. How do I look now? I mean, it makes sense. I can see that it says empty. Oh dear. Alright. Isn't this where you first start seeing Dragger? And I need to remember... Oh, I turned it off, okay. You know, you'd think there'd be something in there. I just need to get used to the fact that C is crouch. I don't have the time to do everything. Remember correctly, I am quite thirsty. No reason for that. Just wraps. We're not deep in the temple yet, so... It makes sense that I'm not going to find much. Okay. Good to know. Yes, type tail, huh? Take a torch as well. He has a Wazaki, apparently. I don't know if I've got shoes. Huh. That was a mistake. Remember, they're switched. Yeah, I really just need to keep my lantern on always. Okay, so it's the pillar puzzle. I really don't like how, like when I fall, my arm just goes straight through it. Well, straight through me, rather. And the lighting engine's a bit with this. And again, it's probably due to all the mods. So yeah, the big trick of this, so you see how it's snake, and then I don't know what, and then whale. So we need to turn this to snake. Snake. Whale. And we should not die. There we go. Don't we get attacked by a bunch of skeevers? Thief. Or even. He has not yet had the pleasure of reading the first volume in the series on the life of Elzaph Errol Beggar. He should close his book immediately, for I shan't recap. Well, to tell you this much, reader, when we last saw Yusuf, he was a boy, an orphan, a failed beggar running through the wild winter woods of Skyrim. His home of Aragold. He continued running, stopping here and then there for many more years until he was a young man. Islov discovered that among the ways of getting food, asking for it was the most troublesome. Easier was finding in the wilderness or taking it from unguarded market stalls. Only thing worse than begging to get food was begging for the opportunity to work for the money to buy it. It seemed needlessly complicated. No, as far as Islov was concerned, he was best off being a scavenger, a beggar, and a thief. He committed his first act of thievery shortly after leaving Arrowguard. While in the southern woods of Tumberker and the rugged land near Mount Jensen, to the east of the village of Horbeld. Ilslov was starving, having not eaten anything but a rather scrawny raw squirrel in 4 days. No meat cooking, then found the smoke. When Mr. Wards was making camp, he watched him from the bushes. He cooked and joked and flirted and sang. He asked them for some food, but so many others had refused him before. He rushed out, grabbed the piece of meat from the fire, and wincing from the burns, scrambled up to the nearest tree to devour it, while the bard stood under him and laughed. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode, though, so we'll finish this next time, though. So, enjoy this video, you know what to do. See ya!